hoo boy, he lost his ever-loving mind. So like I said, if we were to get mailers from Democrats that we don't like, we throw them in the trash, but not Wakeman. He went to Buddy Hardin's house, goes up on his porch, rings his doorbell, and then he proceeds. I can't even show you what he wrote all over the mailers. They're expletives. Blank you. He called Hardin an overweight female copulatory organ repeatedly. He wrote this on the mailer repeatedly. He had blank Trump, and he was really mad with the whole pro-Trump. It literally said that. That's all it said. We have some of the audio from the doorbell camera. Imagine getting this mad over a mailer. Listen to this. Birds chirping. Seems like a nice day.
Hi, is Buddy here?
No, not right now.
Is that your husband?
Yes.
And then he realizes,
I can't speak to you the way I want to speak. So
then maybe you should
tell him to leave his frickin' Trump, pro-Trump, on his own god porch. Him and Trump, he's a treasonist.
Oh, okay.
The treasonist. He can Republicans and him and your husband. I hope he loses. He's going to lose big time.
Oh, well, God bless you.
Shot by a kid with a hand.
God bless you.
Listen to that fat piece of nose. Fat ass fuck. You got a problem? No, there it is. I'll back up for you.
wow. Now, as I said, the guy's name is William Wakeman. The video that we're showing came from, on the simulcast of the nationally syndicated radio show, came from Fox 2. The uncensored, where you can see everything, is on my Substack, chapter and verse. Because I just don't think that these people should be, like I said, I don't want him to get fired from his job, and I don't want a rage mob. But I hope maybe he sees how ridiculous he looks. You know, I would be against anybody who tried to get him. I would. But this is shameful, and he should feel shame. You should feel bad. He should feel horrible for this. Who does this? And she is very polite. I wouldn't open the door. I really wanted to yell into the camera, why are you opening that door, girl? But, and it was weird because Hardin had, you know, kind of the grandpa Werther's candy response, right? He's like, well, I just can't believe in this day and age. He's not filing a restraining order or nothing against this guy. He's just saying, I hope that people can learn how to speak. Here's the thing. The way that Hardin reacted, he did not overreact like AOC would do. Somebody like Kat calls her on the steps at the Capitol and, oh my gosh! It's nuts. Oh man. So, the reason why people like this dude are mad, what do they have to get excited about with his party? Look, if things were going real good for Democrats, if Democrats could look at their party and go, wow, we love these, we love the no inflation. We love the fact that we're not in a recessionary period. We love how cheap and affordable gas is. If they could say all of this, they would be happy. They would be excited about getting out and voting for their people come election. They would be so happy about it. Instead, they're miserable. They're enraged. Now, part of this, too, is because of how the left has handled this for so long. They've been targeting the homes of senators and congressional members and judges. Nancy Pelosi has just said, well, they're just protests. The party leaders have defended it. There's been zero condemnation. Senate Democrats, according to Politico, haven't objected to those protests at SCOTUS homes. They noted it. The White House, according to Washington Times, condoned the run-in protesters going at Kavanaugh when he was eating dinner. They barely had anything to say about the guy who was arrested after he told law enforcement he was there to murder a Supreme Court justice. They have long ignored this. There is left-wing incitement because they've used it. They have long ignored their violent and confrontational activists in their ranks because they need that manufactured agitation to turn out the vote. That's why they measure this thing called party enthusiasm or voter enthusiasm. When enthusiasm's low, that's real bad. That's an indicator of how you're not going to have people turn out. This is one of the reasons at the Georgia special election and in 2020, I was really concerned about some of the enthusiasm in different parts of the states. And in Georgia's special election, there was like low enthusiasm and there was a horrible turnout. I mean, it's, hand in hand. Party policies, Democrats, their policies don't alone drum up enthusiasm, like I said. So they got to convince their very impressionable base that any policies or thought opposite their own is violence. Like what that one broad told Senator Josh Hawley, that your questions about men and women, that's actual violence. I mean, that's one of the things that she said. And she goes, your line of questioning is, it exposes trans people to violence. That was her direct quote. Hawley's like, my question is violence? And she's like, yes. They think that any opposition or dissent is actual physical violence. And then, of course, don't forget, you had Schumer kickstarting the targeting of these justices when he's like, there's a storm coming and you're going to pay, Kavanaugh. Remember all of that? Well, then here you go. A couple of months later, a guy's arrested outside on the same street that Kavanaugh lived, down the road from his home. Told police he was there to murder him. It's insane. The fabrications of the Putin price hike and the temporary inflation are not working, but they got to have a boogeyman. They have to distract from the real cause of everyone's anger, which is their own policies. The base find it increasingly difficult to defend their party because at some point, the reality that this isn't about logic anymore is revealed to them, and they don't know how to reconcile that. Because then they have to face the fact that, oh my gosh, I'm being a partisan, not someone who's doing this on truth and logic. And that results in angry episodes like this, with Wakeman going up to this Buddy Hardin's house and ringing the doorbell. That's not an exchange of smart ideas, and I think it's a symptom of a problem with the health of a republic, to be honest.